Hello and welcome along to another episode of this FM22 Rebuilding Scandinavia stint from Viborg with me, Daniel. It's part 5 at our second club today, and it is a massive episode and a massive test. Those of you that were here the last couple of episodes will know exactly why as we continue our Danish Cup run. We've faced Danish champions Brondby. It's top of the first tier, the top of the second tier, and over a two-legged tie, we've got a chance to test ourselves against the very best that Danish football has to offer. So if you're looking forward to seeing how we get on, then please do chuck a thumbs up on the video and subscribe down below for daily FM22 content. We've got our usual Sunday fun with experiments and top threes, and then 2 long-term stories rotating through the rest of the week. A massive thank you for your support as always. You can find all the key links up in the eye above, and anything that's not up there is down in the description below. Finally, you can support the show as a channel member by clicking the join button below the video too. But let's go straight into it. We've got a lot to reflect on league-wise. You can see we're just starting to pull away from those two sides chasing us now. And I'm becoming increasingly confident that those ambitious objectives set by the board that we must win the league are going to come to fruition, because the signings have been good. I do worry about next year because, of course, don't forget we've had to sell 2 of our best players, albeit we've got them back on loan for this year. Next season we're not going to have them, and that might be when this starts to kick in. But so far in the short term, we've solved all our problems and built a good squad. But in the long term, it might be an issue, because if you look, we've sold those 2 players. They've not even left the club after their loans yet, and we're already over £1 million in debt again. So maybe that's where these Brondby games become very important. So let's see how we get on in them after we have a look at the schedule, so I can show you what's been happening since you were last with me. And we have been doing pretty well. We've not been dominant, we've not been vintage, but we have been picking up results. So you were with me for the Randers game as we bounced back after resting people against Vensil. The good news for this cup tie is it's not a midweek one. It's got its own 2-weekend slot, and it is the last games before the winter break. We've got a couple of players on trial. We're starting to think about January now. But we've been able to play once a week, pick the same team virtually every week. And as you can see, we've largely got our rewards for it, because after the 1-0s you saw last time, we won 3-2 away at Helsingborg. It was a late consolation, which made it look closer than it was, as Anyembi gave us the lead, Tobias Beck restored the lead, and Joachim Rothman yet again wrapped it up just after half time. I have offered him a new deal up to $1.5 grand a week, but an extra year on his contract. I think he might be the next big sale. At 23, if we can get him tied down, he's scoring almost 1 a game. I mean, he's just too good for this level at the moment, and in a team that's creating chances. We then won 3-0 against the bottom side Kurga. Rothman got a brace, including a second from the penalty spot as Kurga went down to 10 men. David Palmer got a third late on as we made it pretty comfortable, but again, really good victory. And the same away at Horsens, which did threaten to go wrong, because Ibrahim Saeed had given us the lead early on. It was pegged back almost immediately. And after that, for the rest of the half, we were clinging on by a thread. You can see some of the star ratings in the team are Karamoko and Anyembi in defence, and with good reason too, because they had to get through an awful lot of work. But Joachim Rothman, he stepped up in the second half again, and if anything, he's just getting better and better with football. So Brondby, the next 2 weekend opponents, they will be well rested, I assume. Did they have Europe in the week? Let's go and have a quick look. They did. So they played Champions League and got battered by Bayern a few days ago. But now they're going to be rested for this one. And the second leg is when we'll probably have some trouble. We have, though, as you can see from the right of the screen, just got 1 player on trial. While Rothman's doing really well. And of course on the left wing, Tobias Beck too. We've not really got a natural backup in either of those positions. So Blair Turgut popped up in the scout reports, and it was suggested that we should have a look at him. So he's coming on trial. Whether the director of football wants to sign him or not, I don't know. But he has got a good record in Scandinavia. Of course, he's played in English football, but famously known for his spell at Östersunds, where he did a really good job, scoring about 1 in 3, can play off both wings and up front. He's a very solid player. So I wouldn't mind getting him in, that's for sure. But for now, we go straight through to the fixtures. I'm hoping this cup tie is worth big money, particularly the home game where we should get a big crowd. Because if we have a look at the finances, they are a mess. We're declining so quickly. We got up to 414 grand in the red when we sold our 2 players, Lundvik and Saeed. Now we're back down to 1.2. So are we going to have to sell 2 players every year? Because if so, we could be in trouble before too long. But for now, let's go through to the first leg against Brondby. Home advantage first, let's make it count. Let's show you the 11 we've got available today. How there's only 4,000 fans in, I just don't know. Okay then, this is what we've gone for, and to be honest, most of our usual selection dilemmas have actually been solved for us without us having to make the decision. Ibrahim Said is injured on the right wing, so David Palmer will come in and start. And the other midfield choices we would normally have, the likes of Bonda and Harbo, both returning from knocks yet again. So the midfield three picks itself, the wingers pick themselves, and the rest of the team, we've got a clear first choice. So the lineup for today as a result of that is Behrens in goal, and Yembi and Laridson the fullbacks, with Karamoko alongside Carlson at centre half. Grunin, Lundvik and Yanusa at the midfield three, Palmer, Beck and Rothman the front three. Let's hope Rothman continues his scoring form. Lundvik's in double figures as well, but he's got a little bit colder in recent weeks. Still playing well though, as we head into the first leg against the Danish champions in the Danish Cup. And here is the lineup for our visitors. Maxo is the skipper and star man at the back. He's absolutely brilliant. Former Burnley man and Icelandic international Gudmundsson is on the bench, and he's at 32 and better than most of our players. So that shows that they're pretty strong. Or where we've got 7 changes there, including Radicevic, who would have been a star, are they just playing a reserve side against us because they've played Bayern in the week? If so, this first leg, we have to take our chances, because it looks like their side is slightly weakened. I'd expect to see a full strength one next weekend. Please just let us get a result in the first leg and stay in this. As early doors, we've got a big free kick with Behrens, or a long goal kick, to Lundvik. Finds Yanusa, who chips forward to Palmer, gets himself in, almost a dream start. 1 minute on the clock. It's a great save from the Brondby keeper, but it probably should have been 1-0. That was the chance for Viborg. We've now got a corner with Laridson, big one up to the back post. Bell heads away as far as Beck, and he can recycle possession on the left-hand side. Goes towards the byline himself, delivers a big cross. Maxo heads down and away. Good leadership at the back from the skipper. Early scare for Brondby though. We got on the front foot. But that chance, you probably can't afford to miss here. As Palmer gets it on the right again. We look really positive in possession at the minute. Yanusa gets the ball up to Rothman. The star man turns to his left and finds Yanusa. Goes back to his centre half Karamoko as we start again on halfway. And Carlson finds Grunin to Yanusa. Inside to Lundvik. Through ball to Palmer. He's got in again. Another good save from Hermansson. David Palmer is causing some threat, but he's not quite as good technically as Said, and it is showing at the minute. As Laridson puts the corner in. Carlson up. Penalties given. That is so soft. There's a yellow card for dissent, but that is incredibly soft. Rothman will step up from the spot. Can he get his customary goal? Of course he can. Sends the keeper the wrong way, and Joachim Rothman makes it 1-0. 18 goals for the season. We're going to get big money for him down the line. But for now, all that matters is he's given us the lead against the champions, as they've got it at the back from the kickoff. They're straight onto the front foot, Brondby. Maybe it will kick them into life, but when they're playing their rotated side, we have to take advantage. Long ball forward towards Headland. Good challenge, Carlson. Slide challenge back to Behrens. It's excellent defending. And we can start again from the back with a long goal kick. Up towards Rothman, but headed away. Joe Bell goes wide to the right-hand side. Are we finally going to see the visitors come into this game? You would expect so. I don't know why there's less fans in than there were for the last 2 rounds, because Brondby are the best side in the nation at the minute, and they almost proved it there. They get in with a lovely through ball, but Behrens makes the save. 10 gone, first scare against us, but a really good performance other than that. Well, just over 5 minutes to half time. It's gone incredibly quiet since that goal and chance. As Laridson puts a cross in, we were on the front foot again. Brondby playing a little bit deep, a little bit cautious in this game, which does surprise me. Maybe their rotated side isn't as good, but maybe that's perhaps why they're not winning the league this year. Now they've got Champions League group stage football. As Lundvik gets to the edge of the box, it's magnificent play. Good save by the goalkeeper. I feel like playing against their reserves, we're going to really regret missing all these chances. Because next week, surely those 6 or 7 changes come back in. And then we really start to struggle against their best team. Hermansson is making save after save. He is having a really good game in the Brondby goal. As Laridson set-piece delivery continues to be top-notch. Headed over the bar this time. It looks like it's going to just be 1 at half-time. And it is, but look at that expected goal count. Nearly 2.5 at half-time. We really should have taken more of our chances. There's been so many golden ones, not even half chances. We're just not taking advantage. The set pieces, we're normally so ruthless from here. Not really any chances at all. And as we come up to the hour mark, this is where the game starts to quieten down. You can see Goodmanson, and that answers our question about why they're not playing their first team. He's come on and he's already struggling for condition. So he's definitely not fully fit. Next week, we're going to see a different Brondby. And if it's just 1-0, I'm not confident, I've got to be honest. We've got Tobias Beck having a poor game who we need to take off. And we've also, at the back, got Larridson struggling. I don't know that I want to take off our whole left wing yet. We've got 6 days off after, so let's not rush it. Beck will come off. He'll be replaced by Harbo. And then Lundvik will go over to the left wing, which he's done a couple of times. And for now, we're just going to leave it at 1 change. We'll make a few more as we edge towards the end. We've only got 3 subs in the cup anyway, so it's not as much of a burning issue. As Bell gets it on the right for Brondby. Ball into the box. Good header against the post. Off the line from Karamoko. Thought it was going to hit the back of the keeper and go in. But we just about survive it. We've now got further changes to think about. Yanusa will come off for Jacob Bonda. And the third one, I don't really want to change the defence. It's Lundvik on the left wing, if anyone. So do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put Dominic Franke at left back. And then on the left wing, I'm going to bring Larridson up. And I'm just going to put him as a winger on support. I'm going to maybe leave Palmer on an attack duty just to try and get him behind. But it gives us a bit more of a sturdy feel. A little bit more of a calm shape. As hopefully we try and cling on. Because now 1-0 is paramount. You can see in the second half, Brondby have created a few more chances. They have been a bit better. And they've brought on a few of the stars off the bench, which shows us what's to come in the second leg. They're going to have 6 days off. They'll be fully rested. And then they've not got to worry about resting people for another game. Although for now, we may have just done something to help take the game away. It's a nothing goal, really. Hermansen makes a save from Harbo. And in the rebound falls for Palmer. He's got the net at his mercy. And he shows composure to just slot it into the empty net. It is 2-0 to Viborg at the end. It was a heavily rotated Brondby side that had been in Champions League action. But it's a great result ahead of the second leg. We'll be facing their first team. Let's go and see how we get on. Fitness test time ahead of the second leg as our centre midfielders continue their comeback to fitness. Of course, we've got a remarkable lead against the Danish champions, but you can see it. The sides that have been in Europe are struggling a bit. Midtjylland had the same. Lyngby, our league rivals, are doing really well too. And Copenhagen pegged back to 2-2 against AAB. But Brondby today, I would expect to make those 6 or 7 changes back again to go to their first 11. We'll wait and see if it's the case or not. But let's go and see what our team can do. 20,000 through the gate at Brondby. I hope it's a 50-50 share like the FA Cup, because that could solve a fair few problems for us. Let's look at our team. I don't really feel like I should change anything. I know that we could rotate the midfielders. Saeed is fit enough to come back onto the bench today. But I don't believe that it would be right to change any of the starting 11 from last week. So we're going to stick with exactly the same lot. Saeed strengthens the bench. Bonda and Harbo are fitter than last week. But let's go and get into the second leg at Brondby with a 2-0 lead against the Danish champions. Can we do it? Can we get to the semi-finals? Financially, it would be massive. Well, about halfway for Brondby, they've brought 3 of the first teamers back in, mainly defensive changes as well. We've also seen the return of Radosavich to the bench. Goodmanson still there again. So it is a good side, and at home they should be better. But the fact we're beating the Danish champions 2-0 does worry me a little bit, because we saw what happened with Helsingborg when we got to the top tier. And that is likely where we're going to be next season. So having had a bit of a tense start in the second tier here in Denmark, we're beating the first tier seems pretty easily. And actually, the Brondby game was easier than either of the 2 before it. So we'll be hoping that they give us a real threat today. As we return with a Larridson free kick just a few minutes in. Hermansen forced into a save again. That looks very similar to what we had in the first leg. I really hope that Brondby put up a fight for the sake of this save, because I've got to be honest, I'm absolutely loving my time at Viborg. It's really revitalised me in this Scandinavian save, but I don't want it to get too easy. And really, Brondby should be putting up a fight here. We're dominating the game on the road, although they are now showing signs on the front foot. They just seem a little bit cautious. Here they come with an overlapping fullback. That's going to keep me quiet because it's a good ball in. And Bjork's header straight at Behrens, but a much better sign from the host. Behrens clears the free goal kick, long downfield, Long ball flicked on by Beck to Rothman, and that might be tie over. Joachim Rothman is a top tier player. How he was available on a free and how we picked him up so easy, I don't know. But I'm loving it. 3-0 on aggregate. There can be no complaints because even in this tie, we've been the better side. And with just under 10 minutes to the break, I'd actually call it a bit embarrassing, the effort that Brondby are putting up here. They're so defensive against us. Although they're in now with Headland. Can they get a bit of headway in this tie? Oh, he's rounded the keeper. And then Karamoko. What a block from the centre-half. Don't forget, this is his last game for the football club. He's pre-agreed a deal to go to France. I think it was Auxerre, wasn't it, after this episode? So we're going to have a void there because we haven't got any centre-backs as good as him, outside the starting 11 anyway. But to get us to this stage is an incredible effort, and he has been consistently the best defender this season. As Bell gets the ball at the back, the host now finally starting to come forward a bit. Will they throw the kitchen sink at us as Bell gives it to Munksgaard? Bell again, up to Dissin towards the front. Through ball to Headland, he's one-on-one again. This time he rounds Carlson, then he goes round the keeper, and then he puts it with aplomb into the top left corner. 1-1 on the night, 3-1 on aggregate. Brondby finally coming to life. Half-time whistle is well timed for us. We've still got the 2-goal aggregate lead. I'm going to tell the lads I'm happy because overall it's been a really good performance, but we don't want Brondby to push too quick because otherwise we could be in trouble before we know it. Though again, they've gone quiet as we reach the hour mark. Yanusa is probably the poorest performer in midfield, so I'm going to bring on Bonda for him. Palmer's having an average game on the right. Ibrahim Saeed comes back in. We'll save the last sub for 15 more, just in case of injury or something like that. We've got a few not far from suspension. And Yembi struggling, but I've not got a good right back. So I think for now, we're just going to leave it. And then maybe we'll take off Grunin in the holding role, who's just struggling a little bit physically. Just over 10 minutes to go. Grunin will come off for, I think, Harbo. And then we'll drop Bonda into the holding role. Just tightens us up, gives us as much quality as possible. With 11 plus stoppage time left. Brondby, they've had a lot of shots in their second half. Their expected goals is 2. But they have not really had many clear-cut chances at all. And we've not really been under threat at any stage in this tie. As that's a poor ball out from the back from the Brondby keeper. Riveros makes something of it though. Goes flying down the left wing. Saeed chasing him but can't keep up. Into the back post to Goodmanson. The substitute heads just over the bar. And I think if we can survive the next couple of minutes, we could well have done it. Beaten the Danish champions over 2 legs. That would be one hell of an effort. As Riveros coming inside to Headland. They're really going for it now though. They've gone to a back 4 I think. Definitely not 3 centre-halves in there now. Up to Radosavich, another sub. To Maxo the skipper. Dissin to Headland. To Goodmanson. Good touch. Good shot. Great save from Behrens. The offside flag was up. He wasn't to know. Tipped it over the bar brilliantly. As Larriton on the left with a throw-in. Bonda nods it back to Karamoko. A goal here and we can start to party. Harbo finds Beck to Rothman. Turns his man to Lundvik. I think he's offside. He puts it in the back of the net. It's going to count. Justin Lundvik ends his goal drought in style. What a moment to get a brilliant finish in. Last game before the winter break, we go 2-1 up against the run of play. The stats would suggest that on the night we're very lucky. But over the course of the 2 legs, I think this is thoroughly deserved. As Lundvik goes wide to Saeed, Brondby chasing the game, and they're all over the place at the back. It's a free kick, it's offside against Rothman, and with just 1 minute added on, I think we can party. They're not scoring 3 goals in this time. It is Brondby 1, Viborg 2, 4-1 on aggregate against the reigning champions of Denmark. I know they rotated a bit. I know the first leg was off the back of a Champions League game. And I know that we're winning this leg against a run of play, but still, what an effort. 3 top-tier sides in a row, and this one would be a win on the road, which is even better. Who would we then face in the semi-finals? Who's going to stop us? And what are we going to do after the winter break? We're going to be a few players lighter. Karamoko will be gone. We will be a little bit worse off in terms of the squad. But we've got a chance, and that's all I can ask of. I guess the next question after that, which of these boys is going to get the big offer in January? Because we're £1 million in debt again. And unless the attendance from this tie has saved us, we're probably going to be forced to sell yet again. Let's skip ahead and see who we face and what on earth we're going to do with our finances. Time for the semi-final draw. Vejle in the second tier beat Lyngby 6-1 in the second leg. Nordsjælland managed to put out Midtjylland and Copenhagen the other side through. Can we get another big boy? Or will we get lucky and get second tier opposition? We did get about a 100 grand boost from the finances from the Brondby attendance, but not enough to really solve any issue. And we've now got a 2-month break before our next fixture and a 1-month break before we even start training again. So let's see who we face. First out is Viborg. Will we get second tier opposition, Copenhagen or Nordsjælland? Of course it is. It's FC Copenhagen. Now they might not be champions, but they are currently top of the league by 3 points from Brondby. They've got the strongest side in the league on paper, albeit they haven't delivered that overall. You can see Ben Davis, 20 grand a week at the back. That's the one from Preston who went to Liverpool, not the Tottenham one. Jesus Vallejo, great centre-half, 26 years of age there. They're so much better. They're on massive money. And with a good manager now, they should be winning a league. I mean, look at Zeka. 55 caps for Greece, absolutely stunning. This is a proper side, and I've got a real feeling we're going to get found out here. But I said that in the last round, and the lads proved us wrong. So let's see when this will take place. Oh, not till the 1st of May, so that is in a few episodes' time. For now, we're going to get through the winter break, and we will be back for the first 2 games in February. We will have had some transfer news by there, I suspect, but for now, if you did enjoy this episode, that brilliant result against Brondby over 2 legs, then please do put a thumbs up on the video. Subscribe down below for daily FM22 content from 2 long-term stories. They rotate from Monday to Saturday at 3:30, before Sunday's double headers are experiments and top 3s. All the key links in the eye above or description below. But a massive thank you for watching as always. Above my head now, I will put the top 3 playlist. Please do give it a go if you haven't already. And I'll see you here again next time for the return of the league as we look to edge closer to top tier promotion. And maybe we'll have some transfer news too. I'll see you there.